Alex Mashinsky, the controversial former CEO of the collapsed lending organization, Celsius, finally went into custody on July 13. The Department of Justice filed 7 counts of indictment against Mashinsky. Ronnie Cohen-Pavin, his former chief revenue officer, was charged with 4 and is now in hiding in Israel. It is obvious from the charges brought against them that both men may face a long time, if not a lifetime, behind bars. It's stunning to read the DOJ's 46-page indictment. It depicts 2 men who intentionally, repeatedly, and unashamedly deceived clients over the course of Celsius' 5-year existence and profited to the extent of millions of dollars in the process, along with, in some cases, their circle of friends and associates. The indictment inclines to make me think of the allegations brought against Sam Bankman-Fried, another deceitful individual who was charged with 8 counts and is certain that he'll live the rest of his days behind bars. Aside from that, the Securities and Exchange Commission, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and Federal Trade Commission all brought legal actions against Celsius, Mashinsky, and in the FTC case, 2 additional higher-ups. Therefore, you must see today's video because I'll walk you through the DOJ charges and look at the evidence that was provided. It will surprise you in some cases. I'll consider Mashinsky's maximum prison term and how it compared to SBF, as well as the additional accusations made against Celsius executives. Let's get started with the charges, which provide the fundamental details that inform the defendant of the accusations against them. In general, it accuses Mashinsky of scamming Celsius clients and, together with Cohen-Pavin, of controlling the price of Celsius's cryptocurrency token. How did that go? The DOJ claims that between 2018 and mid-2022, Mashinsky promoted Celsius as the safest place for your crypto. As a result of these lies and Celsius's enticing reward scheme, which guaranteed investors returns as high as 18%, Celsius grew to be one of the largest cryptocurrency businesses in the world, with more than 100,000 clients at its height in late 2021 and assets of around $25 billion. In June 2022, it put client assets on hold. It declared bankruptcy just 1 month later with an enormous debt on its balance sheet of $1.2 billion. Mashinsky often told lies about the status of the business, while Celsius's finances continued to go downward. He lied so frequently in interviews and on his weekly AMAs on Twitter that Celsius staff members had to remove the lies before releasing them online. Do you think he ever fixed a thing? That's easily predictable and obvious. Therefore, let's examine some of Mashinsky's greatest lies. First, he frequently claimed that the entire supply of sale, $50 million, had been purchased at the company's ICO in 2018. However, the actual number of sales was just 32 million. Then, Mashinsky created a complex scheme to have a company under his control to buy the remaining 18 million. However, it never truly did. The tokens were actually deposited in Celsius's wallet. The second lie is that Celsius was financially viable and that its weekly reward rates to clients were an accurate reflection of business earnings. In fact, Celsius handed out rewards at rates significantly higher than its revenue. Mashinsky lied in public while being aware that Celsius will not be successful in 2019 or 2020. Third lie, he consistently and falsely asserted that Celsius did not provide counterparties with uncollateralized loans, and that all of the loans it made were either completely or partially secured by collateral. Unsecured loans actually made up a stunning 39% of its institutional loan portfolio at one time in 2021. In his fourth lie, Mashinsky informed the public that government regulators had provided Celsius with clarity and direction. He claimed that in December 2021, after conducting an investigation, the regulators declared that we were in good hands. And that was fabricated. They were under intense regulatory investigation at the time in a number of countries, both domestically and overseas. It's perplexing to understand how he believed he could get away with it. Mashinsky's fifth lie said that because Celsius never loaned more money than it possessed, a bank run could never occur there. However, Celsius's assets were less than his deposits. a bank run-like situation may have easily happened. The sixth lie is possibly the worst of them all. Mashinsky advised its clients to maintain their money in Celsius before June 2022 ceases operations, stating that, "We all have our money in the same platform. I have millions of dollars of my money on the platform as well. And obviously, we're in it together." This was total nonsense. Actually, he had already withdrawn a significant amount of his cell assets in the weeks prior to the freeze, including 5.1 million on the exact day he informed consumers that we are all in this together. Mashinsky and Cohen-Pavin are accused of illicitly manipulating the price of cell, thereby causing the public to purchase cell at inflated prices, which personally benefited Mashinsky and Cohen-Pavin because they were secretly selling their own cell at prices that they knew did not reflect the token's true market value. Other unnamed Celsius employees are also accused of the same thing. It is astounding how widespread the illicit activity is here. The details are as follows. Among other things, Mashinsky and Cohen-Pavin frequently purchased cell using customer deposits. Naturally, this was kept a secret from the buyers who were encouraged to assume that the high cell prices were a result of spontaneous demand. The accusation makes reference to a very shocking WhatsApp chat that Cohen-Pavin sent to Mashinsky in October 2021. The issue is that people are selling and no one is buying except for us. Mashinsky also indicated several times that he wasn't selling SOL tokens. He was just purchasing them. However, the accusation demonstrated numerous times that this was not the case. In one case, in response to allegations that he was selling in November 2021, Mashinsky stated that he had in fact purchased some 30,000 cell in the days earlier. In order to make a point of discussing it in the AMA, he seems to have purchased 29,000 cell the day before. Now, what effect did Mashinsky and Cohen-Pavin's activities have on regular users? Simon Dixon, a Bitcoin pioneer and investor who was also a victim of the Celsius scandal and is currently one of its biggest creditors, will be my source for that. This is what he said. For the last year, we've had people commit suicide. We've had pensioners have to return to work. We've had people change countries because they can't afford the cost of living crisis. To see justice served that this scumbag has now been arrested and the justice system takes over, it makes a little bit of what everybody has experienced over the next year slightly worth it. Those are strong statements. The proof is very clear, despite the fact that it's crucial to point out that Mashinsky is innocent until and unless proven guilty. How many counts are there then? And how long can someone be imprisoned? What could be done to serve justice? One is securities fraud. In order to prove that fraud was committed against Celsius's consumers, the DOJ will have relied on the SEC's civil case. The maximum prison term for the first count is 20 years. Fraud involving commodities is count number 2. The DOJ undoubtedly benefited from the CFTC civil case in this situation, because the CFTC considers cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin to be a commodity. Commodities fraud refers to any improper handling of customer payments or price manipulation using these assets. The maximum prison term for the second count is 10 years. The third count relates to wire fraud, which is the deception of others and illicit money purchasing using electronic communications. Mashinsky created an exceedingly complicated chain of lies that extended beyond his AMAs. Therefore, the maximum prison term for count number 3 is 20 years, which translates to a potential 50 years in jail. And we haven't even finished half of the accusations. Now, Cohen-Pavin is also dragged by counts 4 and 7. In count 4, there is an agreement to engage in securities fraud and market manipulation and an agreement to manipulate the price of sell. The maximum prison term for count 4 is 5 years. Securities fraud is count number 5, specifically, a deceptive plan to influence the price of sell, which carries a 20-year maximum prison term. Then, market manipulation involving the sell token is count 6. A maximum 20-year prison term is also associated with this offense. The seventh and last count is wire fraud, but it is related to the price manipulation of the SALT token. The maximum penalty for count 7 is 20 years. In sum, Mashinsky could face 115 years in prison, and Cohen-Pavin might face 65 years. In what ways does this differ from SPF? Sam, on the other hand, was charged with 8 counts, surpassing Mashinsky by 1 for his laundry list of FTX crimes, and he faces a potential sentence of 115 years. Needless to say, the SEC accused Mashinsky and Celsius of market manipulation, making false and misleading representations, and offering and selling crypto asset securities without registering them through Celsius's lending program. In contrast, the CFTC case is noteworthy for being the first to target a lending platform for digital assets. For the benefit of Celsius consumers, it is requesting compensation among other things. What I find more intriguing is that Shalomi Daniel Leon, the former chief strategy officer of Celsius, and Nuke Goldstein, the company's chief technology officer, are both co-founders who were named in the FTC lawsuit against Mashinsky. They aren't mentioned in the DOJ complaint, which is noteworthy. Cohen-Pavin is otherwise. Have the other founders reached a settlement with the DOJ? It's interesting to notice that the charges frequently imply that unidentified Celsius employees were complicit in or aware of the allegations. Perhaps it's because the DOJ had access to material that implicated Cohen-Pavin, such as the previously reported WhatsApp conversation with Mashinsky. How it obtained that proof, though, is a legitimate concern. To discover, we'll probably have to attend a trial. Seeing Mashinsky face what he's doing is obviously quite reassuring at this point. He is being handled like the huge liar and dishonest that he unquestionably is. But seeing him released on bond while he awaits trial is upsetting. Unfortunately, that is how a lot of these major scammers operate. However, it will be intriguing to watch if the DOJ plans to press charges against other parties involved. Mashinsky may reveal information if this is the case, in exchange for a lighter punishment. But given the widespread resentment and the scope of the scam, he would nevertheless be facing a lengthy time behind bars. However, hardly any of these measures actually make life any better for people who experience significant financial losses as a result of Celsius's failure. They might still be a turning point for this field, leading to the adoption of more stringent regulations and reasonable rules for exchanges and other crypto platforms. Whatever happens, we must always keep in mind that the root of the problem was a simple case of business crime, including theft and fraud. The collapse here is personal, not a failure of cryptocurrency. Are they going to be convicted? Do you think they'll be in prison for life or for just a certain number of years? Now, let us know what you think. Leave your comments below. We appreciate you for staying till the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys clicked on the like and subscribe buttons and press the bell over there to turn on your notifications. Visit our channel for more coin predictions, Bitcoin, altcoins, and cryptocurrency videos. Have a great day and see you in our next video.